Hi Star Fam, welcome to another reading. I hope everybody's doing really good. We're gonna start with a message card. Ooh. So this one flipped out. To begin the practice of allowing, I must get out of the way and let Spirit give me direction. There's oil on it. Sorry about that. That there. And then underneath it was, I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day as I strengthen my faith in the love of the universe. And then underneath that was, my ability to receive is measured by how much I practice good feeling thoughts. Put this one, right? Where can I put it? I want to put it here, so I'm just gonna do it. And I usually save that for the Ascended Masters. We'll scooch them today. We'll scooch them over a little. Okay. Let's get a Conscious Spirit card. It's kind of funny that the first card was, to begin the practice of allowing, I must get out of the way and let Spirit give me direction, because I hadn't even finished shuffling really. It just sort of fell. Those three just fell. We got Forest Frolic Maiden. This is one of my favorites. I acknowledge my inner child and open my heart to the joy she brings. I don't usually read the messages for Conscious Spirit because I feel like it's sort of all encapsulated in the small message. Very succinct. But today I'm feeling called to read it, so we're going to read it. Forest Frolic Maiden. I acknowledge my inner child and open my heart to the joy she brings. Too often, everyday burdens and chores pull us down and prevent us from enjoying our lives. This card is a reminder to you to release the burdens of life and make time for fun, laughter, and play. Take yourself back to when you were a child and took joy in the simple things in life. A time when you had no cares in the world and would dance in the rain, climb a tree, or take your first exciting steps into the ocean. Your inner child never leaves you. She resides deep within you, yearning for the occasional release, for some freedom from the mundane, from responsibilities. When you are feeling burdened or simply need to lift your spirits, call upon your inner child. Allow her or him to flow out through your heart, sharing with you memories and experiences of joy and freedom of play. Let go and play. Have fun with that beautiful child. Revel in the pure bliss and innocence of her childlike merriment. Yeah, that's a great message. I mean, the truth is we grow up. Our bodies get old and hopefully our minds get knowledgeable and wise, but our souls and our hearts have a purity and an innocence to them. I always think of it like Yoda from Star Wars, who, although he seems very simplistic and very childlike when you first encounter him, within him he also contains like a wise Jedi master and a badass fighter. But although he has developed those qualities over his life, Yoda has not forgotten that pure innocence of his soul, that inner child that is able to revel and be immersed in the moment, be immersed in the new experiences of life. I mean, every sunset is different, every ocean's different, but as you get older and you get worn down by the matrix and responsibilities, you can you can become dull, and you can start ignoring your inner child, that part of you that enjoys the simple things, the part of you that wants to play and have fun and be free and feel free. And so this card is our reminder to the Star Fam Collective to pay some attention to your inner child. It says, I acknowledge my inner child. So acknowledge your inner child, and I open my heart to the joy she brings. So open your heart to the joy that inner pure part of you, that innocent childlike nature that we all still carry deep inside of us. Open yourself up to that part of you, and let him or her out once in a while to play and have fun and explore. Okay, let's get a Keepers of the Light card and see which. If I start a fire, don't worry, because I have water and coffee. So if anything goes up in flames, I will just chuck some liquid at it. We'll just continue on. So we got Joan of Arc. Voice of truth. Stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. And she's surrounded by lilies. I just learned recently, I've always loved Joan of Arc. I've always thought she was a great role model for girls, which maybe is a little weird sounding to some people, but as a girl growing up, being a Scorpio and loving the truth, she was a real role model, and she went into battle with no battle skills. She had meetings with kings and I don't even know what they're called, but like generals in the army and stuff like that. And if she was scared, she didn't let on she was scared. She knew in her heart and her soul that the messages she was receiving from Spirit, from God, were important. And even when the people around her had an attitude of, who is this young girl? Why is she here? Why should we listen to her? She never backed down. She knew she had a message of truth that she had to share with others for their own sake, and because she was called from God to share that message. And she didn't, even though it would have been extremely hard to get any men in power at that time to listen to a simple teenage peasant who was a girl and not a military strategist, she managed to do it, to the point where they included her in the army and they were victorious. I think she was French, and they were fighting the British army. And then, of course, she was persecuted later. I think it was the British who killed her later. But I always looked up to her. I always thought she was a great role model for girls, and I loved her story. I loved how determined she was to the truth, the divine truth. I just thought that was amazing and super badass. And I only learned recently that the angel who she was working with was Archangel Michael, which has a lot of significance to me. And I think Archangel Michael has been working extremely hard over the last few years, guiding and protecting other people who are speaking the truth, right? Because it's the age of light, and part of what light is information, right? Real, divine, true information. So sometimes you need the armor of God, right? So let's read Joan of Arc, and we'll see if there's any wisdom in the message in the book. I think too, like, Joan of Arc is much like Jesus, Joan of Arc is a really great leader for light workers in our time, because of the persecution, because of it's easy to do what's right when you have everyone supporting you and congratulating you and cheering you on. But most light workers don't have that. And some of us may never have that or experience that or have even one person like clapping for us. But in spirit, all of us light workers, we are clapping for each other. We are cheering on each other. We are supporting energetically each other because we all know we're part of a very special movement on earth right now. So I think that one of the reasons why Jesus is a great role model now, other than the fact that he's our template for Christ consciousness, and Joan of Arc is also a great role model, is because they delivered their messages anyway. They spoke the truth anyway. They had faith in the Most High God, and that the mission they were given from the Most High God was what they were supposed to be doing, even if their families and their friends and their communities and the people in charge looked at them sideways and thought they were strange or didn't want to listen to them or didn't value the message. They followed their calling and they accomplished their mission, right? Sticky ends, but death is a temporary passing, and on the other side, God waits for us with all of our past loved ones. So it's a temporary state. Okay. So if anybody in the Star Fam Collective is doubting their mission or questioning their calling or feeling the difficulty of bringing the truth to the world without support, without backing, without applause, without encouragement, you're not alone. We're all going through it, and if you believe in your heart and soul that what you're doing is right, and if you have been called by a higher power to deliver your mission, just do it. Just do your mission anyway, and then you'll go home, right? You'll go home to the arms of the God who loves you and all the angels. And if not, you'll get recycled and you'll come back and you'll learn new lessons in the next life. And hopefully your soul will bring some of that wisdom forward that you've learned in this life from accomplishing your mission. But if you don't accomplish your mission, then you're not learning the lesson either. Part of the lesson is when you're called and you answer the call, to have faith in your mission, that on the surface things might not look or be how you wish they were, but beneath the surface you are protected and you are loved and you are guided by the angels, by your ancestors, by your spirit guides, and we're all going to go forward together, walking our own paths. Okay, Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc was a medieval French peasant girl who is reported to have been visited by Archangel Michael and other saints, who gave her information on how she could help Charles VII save France from English domination. She was only a teenager, and she went into battle for her country and won a huge victory. She was, however, later captured and burnt at the stake. These days, she is a supremely loving guide to all those who want to stand up against the odds. She also helps many lightworkers overcome their fear of persecution. And I think that has carried forward from a lot of our past lives or a lot of our past experiences in this life. And it's one of the blocks to opening up to your mission and almost like receiving that mission as like a download, right? So if you have, I know this has happened to me, but if you have a fear of persecution or being discriminated or being humiliated or anything that would keep you from going public with your mission, like Joan of Arc did, right? Like Jesus did. This is Spirit telling you, let that go. You don't need to be afraid of that. Let it go, right? As long as you know who you are and you know that you're called to do this mission, and it feels good for you to walk that mission. Not it feels good from the outside in and how other people are perceiving you, but it feels good to you from the inside, in your soul. You know it's the right thing to do. Then keep going and keep doing it. You are being encouraged to stand strong. You may feel unrecognized and misunderstood, but that doesn't mean you have to give up on the mission you feel called to fulfill. I mean, I don't even know why I'm reading this. This is all the things I already said. You must follow the will of your soul and exercise your leadership spirit by speaking your truth. You may feel as if you are on a battlefield, but this conflict will come to an end as soon as you stop defending yourself. You are not here to prove yourself to others. Instead, approve of yourself. Know that your angels are on your side and that heaven is thanking you for being the honest soul you are. That's why I have read this. This is the reason. So when it says, you may feel as if you are on a battlefield, but this conflict will come to an end as soon as you stop defending yourself. You are not here to prove yourself to others. That is a major, major lesson. So everyone knows Deepak Chopra. He had this thing, it was like a book, but then it was also like a lecture. And it was called The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success or something like that. But most of them are common sense, right? But there was one that when I encountered this teaching by him several years ago, there was one that really struck me, and it was called defenselessness. And it was the concept that you don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to prove yourself. If someone comes at you and says, well, I don't think you're qualified to give advice to other people, you don't have to argue that point. You don't have to have that discussion. You don't even have to say, well, that's your opinion. You don't have to say a thing. You don't have to prove a thing. You don't have to lift a finger. It takes your own energy to fight back against haters and people who doubt you. It takes your own divine energy to try to defend yourself and try to prove yourself to people who, honestly, they probably don't even really think that way. Like, I'm sure part of them thinks that way, but they're threatened by you or they wouldn't challenge you, right? So when someone challenges you or you feel challenged, right? And I know like a lot of readers who are very popular, they have a lot of haters, they have a lot of trolls, they have people who are interrupting the work that they're doing just to, bother them or question their merit or whatever. And the idea of defenselessness is that it takes your own energy, your own divine energy, to stand back up to them, to defend yourself against them, to try to prove yourself to them. And I'm sure most people have had this experience with either like a toxic ex or a toxic friend or a toxic family member, where they're engaged in these arguments trying to prove themselves. Well, yeah, I do feel like I am able to do it because of blah, 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 blah. And then you kind of, they're like, well, I don't think that is blah. And then you're like, no, but it is blah. And then they're like, I don't think that's blah. And after a few minutes of trying to convince this person that you are valid and your choices are valid and what you want to do with your own energy is valid, most of us will have like an aha moment in the middle of this conversation where we realize they don't want to be convinced. They don't want proof. They don't want to hear what I have to say. They don't want me to provide like true talking points to prove my own worth or my own merit or my own choices are valid or whatever. They just want to waste my time and screw with my head. And so realizing that gives us a little bit of freedom where we can take a step back, leave the situation, take some space from that person, think about our relationship with them, and really ask ourselves, like, is it worth my energy to try to argue back with this person who doesn't want me to succeed, who doesn't want me to feel good about myself, who doesn't want me to follow my mission, who may feel threatened by the fact that I'm making my own choices and I'm living my own life on my own terms, maybe they feel so threatened about it because they don't feel they can do that for themselves, right? So maybe it's a them issue and not an us issue. And, the thing is that I have found in my life with people who disagree with me or whatever, if I engage someone in a discussion and I am trying to defend myself or explain myself, if someone is swatting away all the proof that they asked for over and over again, that's their mission isn't to have me prove myself. Their mission is to screw with my head and waste my energy, right? Because someone who truly wants the proof will listen to it. And they'll ask for more, but they'll also be listening to that. They'll give you the space to explain yourself. They'll hear you while you're explaining yourself. And then, even if they disagree with what you're doing, it's like they give you an agree to disagree kind of energy. It's like they give you well, I don't know about that, but if it's what you want to do, I can't stop you kind of thing. And that person who gives you that space, who's listened carefully to your explanations and heard them and thought about them and gives you that space to just go off and do your thing, that person, whether they agree with you or not, they might actually care about you. But the person, and be willing to learn and grow, which is also important. But the person who just swats away all your explanations after they've already asked for them, or they're like, prove yourself, and then you try to prove yourself and they just don't care what you're saying. It's all being minimalized. It's all being made fun of, whatever. That person doesn't wish you well. They don't need an explanation. They're just literally trying to steal your energy and waste your time. So there's no point. And the beauty of defenselessness is that it allows you to opt out. You can just say, oh, you don't believe in that, or you're not interested in that, or you don't think I should do that, or you don't agree with that. Okay, well, agree to disagree. Have a nice day, and you move on. You don't engage. You don't explain. You don't have to. Besides, at this point in my life, I feel like God made everyone different on purpose. So what fits me might not fit you. What I understand and value, you might not understand and value. And it's not your job to convince me to be different, and it's not my job to convince you to be different. I mean, we all have mutual standards we need to uphold as a society, but beyond that, people are free to be themselves and do what they like, and we don't have to understand or agree with other people's life choices. We really don't. Okay, let's get an Archangel and Gemstone Guardian card. See what gems. What gem? God, what gem does the collective need today? This one? Peacock Copper. We got this before. Are you in touch with your magnificence? Find ways to bring more joy into your life. Be aware of the source of your emotional challenges or perceived blocks so that you can release them. Get in touch with your inner radiance and shine your light brightly. Archangel Sandalphon. My life is dynamic and full of vibrant energy. I am full of vigor. I am authentic and loyal. I confidently show my true colors to others. It's a fabulous feeling to be all that I can be. I am full of life-enhancing joy and goodness. And Ruby came out on top. That's one of my favorites. Do you need to add a little pizzazz to your life? Have you been feeling tired lately? It is time to take steps to improve your endurance and overall health. Get your energy centers recharged and renew your passion for living a vibrant life. Archangel Ariel. Vital life force flows vibrantly through me. I am strong and healthy. I am grateful for my energetic passion for life. I'm self-motivated to be productive. I am abundant. I am safe. Ruby. Okay, let's get a beastie. in the Book of Beasties. All right, God, what beastie does the Star Fam Collective need today? Porcupine. Protection, deliberation, simplicity, humility. I rest quietly in the winter wonderland atop this marvelous spruce. The ground far beneath me is covered with a fresh blanket of noise-muffling snow that falls in fat flakes around me. I am content here in the quiet that is punctuated only by the occasional chickadee call. I begin to gnaw steadily on the sweet inner bark, which gives me everything I need. Porcupine humbly waddles in with her quills in the relaxed position to remind you that being full of power is the way to get amazing things done in this world. The effort it takes to get there is worth it. When you're full of power, you can be extremely effective. Porcupine relaxes because she's got her quilt of quills around her. Few other creatures dare to perturb her. With porcupine power, you can say what you need to without wavering. You can calmly be yourself without leaving a wake of guilt or self-criticism behind. Being full of power is not being aggressive. At its heart, porcupine power is, like all true beastie power, calm, loving, and compassionate. In our culture, the ego is often thought of as something you should work to jettison, but porcupine reminds you that ego is necessary. Ego is knowing who you are and where you are going, which is mighty handy along with a heaping platter of humility. When you want to do great things, Porcupine knows that being full of love and compassion doesn't mean you have to accept abuse. In the forest, here's a little known porcupine saying, "Do no harm and take no shit." She's always got her quills if she truly needs to defend herself. How can you build up and maintain your power? Porcupine recommends singing, dancing, telling stories, and spending time in the sweet sphere of your own silence. Okay, the affirmations are: live at leisure, or leisure maybe. Casually close in on desires, unhurried, no worries. Go out on a limb. Reach for it, put yourself out there, take a chance. Be multifaceted. Nice? Yes. Adorable? Sometimes. Pushover? Hell no. The chakra is solar plexus. Okay, Okay, let's read the wellness. Porcupines are herbivores and in winter favor dining on trees and their bark. Make a simple spruce needle tea by gently heating a small handful of pesticide-free spruce needles and simmering for 10 minutes. The tea is a vitamin C boost for your immune system. Add local honey to taste. And it says if porcupine is your core beastie, humility comes naturally. All right, let's get some tarot. And we'll look into the minutiae of what is going on in the world of the Star Fam Collective today. I hope everyone is happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. It's my favorite thing to be. I hope you are all full of gratitude for all the abundance in your life in its many, many forms. And I hope you feel guided and connected by God and the divine, however that is defined to you, whatever higher power you love and feel close to and connected to. Okay, tarot. All right, God, cleanse and bless these tarot cards, and please give us a very clear message for the collective today. What does the Star Fam Collective need to know today? Oh, my ruby fell. But remember, I told you not to worry. If anything catches on fire, I will put it out. I have fire in my chart, but I also have water. So we'll be just fine. No need to worry. Okay, God, what messages does the Star Fam Collective need today? Strength. Queen of Cups. The Ten of Swords in reverse. Oops. We have the 9 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles, oops, and the Hermit, June. She's fine, guys. She's a tough cookie. There you go. There's like a little bit of chaos happening today. I'm not sure why, but that's okay. We can handle it, right, Star Fam Collective? And the Devil. This is probably the chaos. So then we'll catch everything on fire and we'll knock Joan of Arc down. No, we won't. No, we won't. Okay, let's get one more so we don't end on the Devil. I think we can do better than the Devil for an ending. All right. Oh, look. We got the World in the upright. There we go. Just needed to have a little bit more patience. Okay. All right. God, maybe I'll read you this first and then we'll clarify. So strength in the upright. So strength is strength, courage, bravery, solar plexus, having self-control, working on your mission, doing what needs to be done. In the Strength card, we see a woman and a lion. She is taming the lion, but she's taming it with grace and gentleness, not brute force. So, however the collective is showing up today, Strength being the first card out, you're working on it. You're tempering it. You're getting control of your inner lion, and not in an aggressive, domineering way, in a gentle, creative way. Okay. And I think the woman in the card may be the Empress, or represent the Empress, or the Star, or both. I don't know. But she's definitely fertile. She's covered in flowers, and she has infinity over her head. So she's also the Magician. So she's also a careful manifester. Okay? Followed by the Queen of Cups. This is it's a creative, nurturing type of energy. She's flowing into her environment. She's not struggling. She's not held back by anything. She's able to be heart-centered and connected to her environment and her own life and the people around her. I thought the queens of the deck were the fixed signs, but I was wrong. The fixed signs are the kings. The queens of the deck are the cardinal signs. So this would be Cancer energy, and it's in the upright. But here what I'm really drawn to is the flow of her love, the flow of her creativity, the flow of her connection. So the collective, or someone in the collective, might be, after going through this process of taming the beast within with gentleness, and really sort of beginning the process of self-mastery. Not that you're at the beginning of the process, but deciding where your self-mastery is going to take you, what direction you're going to try, right? And then that is allowing the collective to open their hearts in the right ways at the right times, and flow, go with the flow, be part of the universal flow, give back, but give back from the throne, give back wisely and appropriately. And then the next card is the Ten of Swords reversed. So, I mean, the Ten of Swords upright talks about being stabbed in the back, betrayed, left for dead, all those terrible experiences and feelings. But in the reverse, it generally means you're coming out of this or avoiding this. So it's kind of hard to be the Queen of Cups when people are stabbing you in the back. So maybe what has happened to someone in the collective is that the self-mastery has led to a type of stability and emotional centeredness where you can be your true loving self. And it's an end to the getting stabbed in the back. Next, we find the Nine of Pentacles, the woman in the garden, the creative master. It's pre-Empress energy. She is tending all of her dreams and all of her work, all of her investments. She's already made those investments and she's taken excellent care of them and nurtured them so they're coming to fruition. And she's just checking to make sure everything's running smoothly. That, I think, is why it's pre-Empress energy. It's a very fertile energy, but it's also like the Empress is the Empress because she's mastered the different areas of the queens of the deck, right? And this woman, while not necessarily the Empress, but in that similar type of energy, she's mastered her own work. She's been working in that. She took that one pentacle from the beginning that God gave her, or the universe gave her, or life gave her, and she carefully nurtured it and worked hard on it and invested it, generally in her own garden, and that has allowed her to surpass the Six of Pentacles, where she's got enough to give back to others. Go into the Seven of Pentacles, where she's reinvesting what she's learned and how she's grown and her own time and energy. And then the Eight of Pentacles, which is following, which is really getting down to work, workity work, right? So having the Nine of Pentacles come before the Eight of Pentacles, I think what that means is the collective, or someone in the collective, has carefully gone through their own garden, their own life, their own relationships, tending what you need to tend while still making that self-care time to enjoy the garden, enjoy how far you've come, and the bird that she's glancing at while she's holding on to one of the pentacles indicates to me that you're not missing out on the splendors of life. You're not missing out on the beauty and the rewards of life. You still are able to be grateful and appreciate your abundance, appreciate the guidance from spirit, appreciate the things the universe has for you while you're still working. She hasn't stopped. She's still at work. She hasn't stopped working, but she's at a place now where she can slow down enough to really savor what she's invested in and the hard work she's already done, and she can still enjoy the odd bird from spirit, her spirit guides, her spirit family, the pleasures that God brings to you, the abundance that just exists without hard work, right? But she's able to sort of do both. She's got a hand on the material and a hand on the spirit, and she's happy. And then followed by the Eight of Pentacles, I think what that means is after carefully tending and examining your progress up to now, the collective has decided what needs more work and is willing to put that work in. So instead of maybe like walking away, if we had the Eight of Cups, it's sort of okay, I've got all this stuff taken care of, and I've got all this knowledge mastered, and I've got all these sort of ducks in a row right now, but this duck over here needs a little bit more work, so I'm just going to go work on that a bit more, and then I'll be ready to, again, move up to this and sort of rethink it or sort of go over everything again. Followed by the Hermit, introspection. So maybe there was introspection needed, or there is introspection needed. It's a going within. It's a type of examination, right? A personal examination. But what's being called to me right now, or what I'm being called to point out right now, is the fact that the Hermit is standing atop a mountain. So, like the Nine of Pentacles, he's able to survey everything that has happened before. So maybe someone in the Star Fam Collective has either been going through a situation that had a lot of sort of loose ends and a lot of sort of details to focus on, right? Many balls in the air to juggle kind of thing. Now they've moved past that into a point where they can have more careful introspection. They can look over and survey everything that's come before, everything that they've invested in, everything that they've given to, everything they've learned, everything that's happened up until this moment. And from a bird's eye view of the Hermit, they can look down on it with a clear eye. I'm also being called to notice that the star in the lantern means there's a dream in there. There's something beautiful from spirit in there. And although that's not the focus of the Hermit, he's using that beautiful star from spirit to light his way. So while looking over everything below that's already occurred, he's guided by spirit still. Then we have the Devil, representing control, addictions, the Black Cube, enslavement, Capricorn energy. So in the healthy form of it, right? So in the unhealthy form of it, it's basically all the low vibrational stuff, right? Dragging you down to hell, dragging down your vibration. But in the higher form of it, if we look at it as like a pure Capricorn type of energy, it represents commitment to a project that requires long-term dedication. So Capricorn energy is a slow building energy, like most of the earth signs. Capricorn is like it's like a goat climbing a mountain, and it can take a lifetime for Capricorns to get to the top of the mountain and be able to have this sort of hermit's view, right? But what Capricorn is supposed to be learning on the way to the top of the mountain is all the skills needed to sort of run the company. So the classic tale of Capricorn is you start out, I mean, this doesn't really happen that much anymore in society. It's kind of a old-fashioned way of business, but the idea of it is you start as an intern and then you work your way up to head of the mailroom, and then you work your way up to maybe like you get an office, and then you work your way up to maybe like you get a promotion, you get more money, and you work your way up, and then you're learning from the people above you the entire time you're going up. And then when you reach the top of the mountain, you have learned pretty much everybody else's position in the company. You have learned how the different departments of the company run. You have learned how they interact, who needs to be in charge of what is the most important things that needs to be happening during the workday. And you take all of that information you've learned on your path all the way up to the top. And this could, again, it doesn't have to be a company. You could be a small business owner, and you're still on this sort of work journey or whatever. But once you get up to the top, that's when not only do you reap the rewards of your hard work, and hopefully you'll be better off, like lifestyle wise, financially wise. I mean, that's really kind of the point of trying to play the game and master the matrix from a Capricorn point of view, is to reach a point of success where you can not kick back necessarily, but you're well off. You're established. That's the word I'm looking for. You're established. And then what is supposed to happen is that you coast down the rest of the mountain on the other side, able to give, mentorship, able to have an easier time. You don't have to work as hard at everything. You have more resources, so things go more smoothly. You've made good connections with other people on the way up to the top. So on the way down, you're able to partner with people with ease. You know what people want. You did all the research on the way up to the top. So it's supposed to be an easier path. So it's possible that if the collective or someone in the collective is not dealing with those low vibrational Devil card influences, that maybe they are dealing with that Capricorn energy in a healthier way, a way of sort of slow growth, learning over time, rising to success in order to have an easier established journey once they reach the other side. And then the last card is the World. So the World talks about auspiciousness, accomplishment, cycles ending, new cycles beginning, a period of reward, a blessing. I always think of the World card as similar to, I can't think of it right now, but I always think of it as the universe just sort of taking it out of your hands and weighing the scales and giving it back to you as a blessing, right? Okay, we're going to get some clarification. So, God, can you clarify strength? The Fool. So, new beginnings. The King of Cups. So that could be Scorpio energy or a masculine water energy. Again, like the Queen of Cups, it's emotional, it's creative, it's going with the flow, it's being able to freely express your creativity and your emotions and everything. All right, Queen of Cups. We have the Four of Cups reversed. So Four of Wands. And the Sun came out too. Take that as well. So, I'll read you these two lines. So, strength, the Fool and the King of Cups. I would say that this indicates that self-mastery or inner mastery or life mastery that someone in the collective has been doing is paying off in terms of a new beginning. Perhaps following the path that you have taken up till now has been the right path. And you are either going to meet a King of Cups energy or be a King of Cups energy, which, while emotional, is also in control of your emotions. And again, like as I said with the Queen of Cups energy, it's mastering the emotions to the point where you can be emotional, you can be open and loving, you can be creative and giving, and you can do it all safely, because that's not always the case in life, right? But I feel that's what I'm feeling from this energy. Queen of Cups, Four of Cups reversed, that I'm a little confused about. So maybe there was a offer that was rejected, and there's some sort of remorse about the rejection, or I'm kind of getting an energy from this that you don't want to be bothered with the offer, that the offer is on not only to be rejected if it were given, but I'm getting like an energy of like just leave me alone. Like I don't want, don't knock on my door and give me the cup. I don't want any cups. She's got her own cup. I mean, look at this magnificent. I mean, this is what's being or has been rejected. This lovely cup. It's plain though, but this is the Queen of Cups cup. She's already got this cup with the fancy robot lid on it. And she, look at her, she loves it. She loves her cup. That's self-love right there. So maybe someone in the collective is they've made their mind up about something. They know how they feel about something, and they don't want the offers. They don't, or a particular offer. They don't want it. Then followed by the Four of Wands. It is the 1111 twin flame card. But to me, I always think of it as like an anniversary or a family reunion. I don't know why. But it's sort of that kinship, family, structured get together time. It can be a wedding, could be an anniversary, but more than anything, it's just a celebration of the four ones that have been brought together and are providing a type of stability. So what you've chosen is the right choice, and now you can either celebrate, because it is a card of celebration. So now you can either celebrate, or you can be secure in and stable in, or feel secure and stable in your decision. Then we have the Sun, which came out like a little bonus card. And that to me just represents the growth of new things, that beautiful divine energy, the thriving garden, the young child, the beautiful red banner of success, and new things coming. All right, Guy, can you clarify 10 of Swords reversed? The Page of Swords. So some kind of communication. The Page of Pentacles. Wow. Get one more. The Two of Wands. So whatever betrayal or painful experience the collective has gone through in the past, it is over and you're coming out of it. The Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles are giving me that there'll be some kind of message that someone in the collective will either give or receive about that this is over, that this situation is over. So that could be as simple as boundaries. So maybe someone in the collective has established new boundaries or reestablished old boundaries, or they've let go of something or someone from the past and they're healing and moving on. And there might be some kind of communication or gift or gesture coming in from someone, probably an immature or youthful. It doesn't always have to be mature, but an immature, youthful energy. Or fresh. It could be a fresh beginning, coming in to just let you know that situation is resolving itself or is moving forward. Or it could also be that when I was talking about boundaries, it could also be that someone in the collective has made a decision to let go of people or places or experiences or events from the past that caused them hurt or betrayal. And maybe someone from the past isn't clear about that or hasn't gotten that message, and so maybe there'll be some kind of reaching out to someone in the collective by someone from the past, and that might result in the collective, I'm getting, being good with the decision that they made. But it could also be just reestablishing an old boundary or putting up a new boundary, or just deciding, because this can be a card of decision, deciding that they're good with the way that things are right now. They don't want to go back to the past. They don't want to deal with people who have stabbed them in the back 10 times. They want to move forward. They're happy about the decision that they've made. It was for the best. That's really what I'm getting from that row. Okay, then we have the Nine of Pentacles. So we have the Two of Swords, the Nine of Swords. All right, so the independent spirit of the collective, or someone in the collective, they're focused on their own path, their own mission, their own work, is giving, and this doesn't feel like collective energy to me. I think this is someone else. It's giving this sort of moment for pause or confusion to someone else who is going through the Nine of Swords. So, I mean, this is a pretty heart-wrenching card. So somewhat, what I'm getting from this is that the collective's independent entrepreneurial spirit, your ability to buckle down and do your work and work on your, and that's inner work too. It's not always outside work in the 3D matrix world. Sometimes it's inner work, right? You're healing your boundaries, your investment in yourself and your own life. That, I think, has resulted in someone else being uncertain about what to do. So I'm getting from this, someone is uncertain about what to do. And from this card, I'm getting that they either were in this energy and these new boundaries, or these clear boundaries, they're no longer able to ignore or be confused about. And so if they were in this energy before, they are still in it. If they weren't in this energy before and they were thinking there would be a different decision made by the collective, they are realizing no. The collective knows what they want and what they're doing. And so this is their current state. Now the Eight of Pentacles. Please clarify the Eight of Pentacles. This one's stuck to my hand. Knight of Wands. What's this one? Three of Pentacles. So, the continued work that's happening in the Eight of Pentacles might be leading to some adventure, some freewheeling, some new passionate adventure, or spark or creative choice, and that's going to lead to some kind of agreement or contract. The Hermit, please clarify the Hermit. Wow, that looked out. So the Six of Swords. So whatever introspection is happening right now to the collective, it is going to result in or lead to an easier time, a better time. Things are going to get better. Oh, wow. Sorry about that. And then we have the Nine of Cups. So contentment, self-contentment, being happy, feeling good. All right, please clarify the Devil. All right, the Emperor wanted to come out. So the Devil, the Emperor, and the Five of Wands. All right, so sometimes I just look at the cards in the deck and I think, what the heck is going on? So the Devil, the Emperor, and the Five of Wands is giving me that either someone has been working really hard for a really long amount of time to become the Emperor, and they have been experiencing this kind of energy in their surroundings, or I'm getting from their community, but like it could be anything, like from their family, their own inner conflict, something like that. Or it could be that someone under a devil type of influence who is an emperor is witnessing this arguing. But what I'm really getting from it is like This is a transmuting energy that the collective is transmuting, leading to this emperor. So either the collective is the emperor, or they're coming into emperor energy, or they're going to meet an emperor, or they're dealing with an emperor, or whatever. But there's been sort of thwarting the emperor. There's been this struggle, right? Maybe against the matrix for a long time. Or even your inner demons, like, because it can all be just a mindset, right? That you feel holding you back and confining you, and you know, you have your own darkness, your own addictions, things that you have to transmute and heal and like let go of and free yourself of. Or it can be external, like you're fighting the entire world and you're like, when's this gonna stop? But there's been some kind of arguing or fighting or discord that the collective has been dealing with. All right, please clarify the world. So we have the Knight of Cups, the King of Wands, and he's in the upright, so that's great, and the Chariot. Okay, so this is all good. So let's go put these together and show them to you guys. Okay, so the world, right? Just cover up a little. The world is, I consider, the most auspicious card. The Knight of Cups means something good coming to you. It's in the upright, so a genuine love offer or friendship offer, or let's hang out and do something fun, something pleasant of an emotional nature on its way. The King of Wands in the upright is a creative boss. He is a leader. He is magnetic. He's someone that can make real change happen. And that can be either the collective's energy in the future, or it can be maybe the collective will be meeting someone like this. But I'm really feeling that this energy, or this person that's in King of Wands energy, is, it's like gonna light a fire under your butt or whatever. I'm really getting that. I'm getting like, this is gonna be a powerful, dynamic, masculine energy that will either bring in this type of beautiful offer, or maybe the collective even will be bringing this offer, or maybe it will be mutual. Maybe the universe will be bringing the collective together with the King of Wands, or the universe will be providing some kind of gift to the King of Wands, and that is going to lead to the Chariot, that moving forward, the victory, the ability to conquer and balance the darkness and the lightness within you in order to move forward. A lot of wisdom, and you'll see his canopy is covered in stars. So much like the card, the Star, he's able to bring wishes and make them come true. He's able to make your wishes and your dreams come true. That's the type of energy. So I think that's very, very positive. Okay, let's get an angel number. All right, 522. Keep the faith and change any pessimistic viewpoints to ones of optimism. As you believe, so it is done to you. And I'm going to get a herbiary card. Okay, you are sacred. Tulsi. Okay, let's read it. Tulsi. Tulsi, also called holy basil, is traditionally planted in a special pot by the front door in homes in South Asia. This holiest of plants, thought of alternately as a household deity and a manifestation of the goddess Lakshmi, brings heaven to earth. Her spicy scent reminds you to be aware of the unseen, of spirit flowing in and out. Tulsi says, "You're strongest when you let spirit help you adapt to the ups and downs of daily life." If you befriend Tulsi, she might give you a further message. Your spirit flows through your physical form, and so your soul is fed through your body's senses. You might wear Tulsi beads around your neck to remind you that you are the home for your spirit and you are sacred. Tulsi, that's Ocimum sanctum. All right, so that's been your reading, and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know who you are, what you've been up to, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye.